this lesson, we're going to look at the fields, constructors, and methods of a class. Now we're going to look at a class called bank account. We're going to go through this bank account fairly quickly. So we've commented it out, tells us what it does. It'll have money and ways to express / change money. Public class bank account. Here's our instance variables / fields. Balance, it's a double. We have two constructors. One constructor receives no parameters, sets the balance to 0. Another constructor receives a parameter and sets the balance to that parameter. We have an accessor method called getBalance. It returns our field balance. Withdraw reduces the balance by the parameter withdraw, and then if the balance is less than 0, it applies a penalty because you withdrew more from your account than you actually had. And then we have this deposit method. So deposit takes a parameter deposit and increases the balance by that deposit. So that is the bank account. Now notice all these methods are public and our field is private. So let's go to our client class. This is our objective, is to really looking at how we construct a class, deal with our fields and methods. So let's construct a bank account object, and we're going to test its instance variables, field, which are the fields, and the methods. So to construct an object, you must call the constructor from the class. And this is what the format's going to look like. It's going to say class object variable equals new class, and then inside of those parentheses are your parameters, which could be none as well, which means there's nothing there. So I create two bank accounts. Bank account B1 equals new bank account, and notice no parameters. Bank account B2 equals new bank account, and it receives a parameter. So we have two bank accounts. One's balance will be set to 0, one's balance will be set to 1,000. Now let's look at our instance variables, also known as fields. Now, we'll never have direct access to the instance variables because they are private. So this line here, double B equals BA dot balance, this is going to give us an error. I'm going to comment that out to show it. So this is going to give us an error, and there it is. Balance has private access. Since it has private access, I can't access it outside of that class. Now, the purpose of an accessor method is to allow access to instance variables. Now note, since it returns a value, make sure you do something with that value. And the format to call the accessor method will look like object variable dot accessor method, and then the parentheses. So BA1, because that's our bank account, dot get balance. Now this is going to return the balance, which was a double. So I'm going to set it equal to a double, and then I'll print it out. I also could do it like this, directly inside of a system.out.println, because I can print doubles, and BA2.getBalance returns a double. So I can do that. Now, let's keep going. The purpose of a method can be almost anything, but each object will be able to call methods from the class it was created from. Now note, some methods return value, so we use it just like we did with the getBalance. Other methods don't return a value. Here, deposit and withdraw don't return a value. So since they don't return a value, I can just call them like this. BA1.deposit, BA1.withdraw. I don't have to set them equal to anything because they don't return anything. But the getBalance does, so I'm printing out the balance. So BA1 started at 0, I deposit 500, I'll print out 500. I then withdraw 700. Now remember, our withdrawal method had a penalty, so it's going to take an additional $25 out of there. So let's run this. 0, 1,000, 500, I'll take off 700, and then additional penalty of $25. And that is the end of this lesson.